creating fan pages, kind of similar to how you said they're buying 200 accounts, whatever. They're doing like 200 fan page accounts, and they're posting the rappers' content with streamers reacting to the videos. So it'll be like a music video. It'll be a real music video on the bottom, Kai Cenat on the top reacting, but it won't be really his reaction to the song. It'll be a different reaction, and they'll just use his faces. He could low key sue. He could low key sue. I feel like for that, if they're organizations that are selling his likeness,
like a big
fake
organization,
reacting,
yeah,
to, like maybe this guy's organization. I'm not saying he's doing it, but if but it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
They could probably get it taken down.
Yeah,
maybe, right? I don't know.
Maybe if they're making bread.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was using your face as a reaction to videos, man, streamers are the new rappers.
Isn't that crazy?
For real. Streamers are the new rappers, yo.
Shit, we can just keep going and then we'll chop up the interview however we want.
Oh, so we basically live, right?
Yeah.
Oh, copy,
not live,
copy.
But
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, like man, streamers, Kai Cenat, Phantom. Yo, what is it? AMP group? The streamers? Like, those are the dudes making. I'm curious, not to be pocket watching, but I'm sure he makes like a couple million a month just on.
I think it's way more than that.
Damn.
The streaming thing I never got though. Is it mostly like young guys that watch that stuff?
That's a good question. Yo, Jay, what is it? Kids watching streams? Like we be playing.
Like teenagers and like young. I never got it. I tried to turn them on before, and I'm like, it's just like some kid rambling.
Yeah, nah.
But I'm just not in the age group. I don't think so. If it'd be different if I was probably 15 years old. I'd probably watch it.
I mean, shit, he had John Cena on there.
I know.
Yeah,
Well, they got a bunch of people on now.
Yeah.
That's how. Do you remember how? What's his name? I think it was Aiden Ross had all those rappers on his streams.
Yeah, hell yeah, and it was freestyle
early on, right?
Yeah,
and then all those guys kind of took off, but so did it. Helped him too.
Yeah,
it was a good marketing. That was a good marketing deal especially for musicians, right?
Definitely.
Anywhere you can get the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Really, that's like part of your audience. Kids 17 to 30 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Do you know your demographics in your audience?
Yeah, it's crazy. My main demographic is 25 to 34. So once I get the kids more, it's over. And I think getting that demographic is through like streamers and collaborating with streamers. Honestly.
Can you pull your demographics on TikTok? Like just on TikTok and then just on Facebook and then.
I know I can on Facebook. Let me see how simple it is to literally just.
Because I wonder if your demographic on each one of them is different. I'm sure it probably is, right? Because TikTok's a younger audience in general.
I'll tell you right now, if I go to TikTok Studio, Analytics, View all. Yeah, that was fast as hell. If I check my metrics, 365 days, my gender is 66% male, 34% female. Age is 18 to 24, 17%. 25 to 34 is 48%. 35 to 44 is 26%.
On TikTok?
On TikTok. Top locations, 60% US, 25% other. Probably people not sharing their location. And then, 3% Ghana, 3% Nigeria, 3% South Africa.
Where did all the UK people come from? YouTube?
From Facebook and Instagram. I was running a bunch of ads to UK. And this course I took about marketing, it was like, yo, target these 5 countries, US, UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. And they were saying that because those countries, I guess, have like a higher GDP, so they have less bots. Like all the countries that are like,
really?
Like Dominican Republic with lower economies, for some reason their internet is like, when you run ads, it just
doesn't convert to real
doesn't
people.
Convert, yeah. So and the way the algorithm was, it'll feed whatever country was doing the best, and the UK shit was just booming.
Do you still run any ads?
I'm not, honestly. I kind of stepped back because I ain't gonna lie, I was in LA and somebody tried to put fraud on my credit card. So the shit naturally just stopped because I had to change my credit card. But I felt that the ads weren't converting like they used to. So I wanted to cut back a little bit wait till these next slew of singles and then maybe readjust my strategy because I felt like the data just wasn't making sense. I was getting these amount of link clicks, but it wasn't showing on the song. So I was like, damn, like, is
Seemed
this
like
shit
some of it
fake?
was fake. Yeah.
Like, is Facebook lying to me? It felt like I was burning money, honestly. But it goes back to what you said, like the supply and demand, like everybody's doing it now. So the, because that stuff is all auctioning for ad space. So
for
you in an
attention.
auction before it was like I was in an auction with 10 people. Now I'm in an auction with 10,000 people.
Yeah,
Price is going crazy.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is run ads right now. Like right before the election, there's politicians like flood it with money, and so your ad spend's gonna go up because it's just so much competition for the ads. You know.
Damn, when's the election again? When do we find out?
Fifth.
When do the ads stop? For real.
Yeah, that's when you want to start after that.
When is that?
I really don't know. When's the election? Really? So a couple weeks away?
So we find out on November 5th who's president? Oh, shit. All right. I'm going to put my ads on November 6th. Shout out to you. That's great knowledge.
Right. When I heard that from my media guy, because he said right now when you're running ads, especially if you're the ones that are actually they're trying to get paying customers from, he said the conversions are way down right now. It's just because the cost to acquire the customer is so high and the conversions are down because they're not showing that ad to as many people. So I'll hook you up with them. Like that'll be a good strategy. I think you've got, I mean, even getting to where you are now, like running ads yourself.
Yeah.
I think you've done a really good job.
Thank you, man. It's been a grind, man. It's been like during COVID, I literally was on lockdown in terms of like, I just used that opportunity to really lock in. And I think just really comes down. I mean, I've been blessed in my life, with opportunities and meeting certain people, but it just really comes down, A, how much do you want it? And B, like, well, I guess comes down to how much you want it. Like, are you willing to put your own money up? I think putting your own money up is the most important thing, even in terms of like law of attraction and affirmation. Like, I remember listening to an audiobook and it was like spending money is probably one of the best ways to communicate to the universe. I want this shit to work out. Like if you just keep putting money and investing in yourself. And that's how the music game is, because it's like it doesn't even make sense looking at, I'm super analytical, but music is not a tangible product. So it's not like you can look at sales and you get half a penny per stream. Like I was like, yo, I'm gonna be in the red for a couple years. Fuck it. Like I'm gonna just build the biggest warm audience I can. Cause they say it takes 7 times for somebody to know your face. So I know people see my face, but now it's just like, okay, now they gotta keep seeing it and build a real brand. And that's something like, I'm not gonna say I struggle with, but that's something I've gotten a lot of reach. Now it's like, okay, we gotta nurture these people, reel them in, show them who I am, instead of just posting music. Cause now people know the songs. Now I need people to like know more of what I'm really about, what I am like off camera. Because people want access, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not really like one of those mystique artists. And back in the day too, with no social media, that mystique element kind of helped. But now with social media, it's like, you gotta be online, you gotta be live. I gotta get back to doing live. Even live helps with content, right? Like, yeah, everything's content, man.
It's gonna notify every single person that you're going live, right? So it's just gonna increase your engagement.
I was in LA and I called my mom and she was like, I sent her the album link. She was like, yo, this song, All on the Floor, sounds like you did it when you were 17, because it's like, all on the floor, all on the floor. Because it's West Coast, and it's like very simple hook. Even when I made it, I was like, damn, this hook is simple. But the producer was like, nah. Shout out to Diego Ave. I mean, this dude, Diego Ave, is done, like, he's like 10 times platinum, so he knows what he's talking about. He was like, nah, bro, that's the hook. Like, trust me. And when I called my mom, I was like, damn, I should have recorded this whole conversation, because it would have been so dope for like my fans and people to see my mom commentating on my music and just being real blunt. Like, and even my mom, when I made Money Come, she was like, yo, you gotta do more drill music. You gotta chill with that singing shit. I was like, damn, Ma, like, not that I was talking about a lot of drill shit, it was just the beat. But I was like, damn, you're right. The people are loving it. Just the style of it. It's dope. I'm very blessed. I have a very supportive mother who's very invested in my success. And I call her my momager. Like, she keeps it very real with me, But at the same time, she knows how bad I want it, you know. So it's like she knows I don't play about my shit. Like I'm
Yeah, sees you working hard.
yeah, and she
Putting in the
sees
time.
some of the
She's like,
results too. She sees me on live, and she sees people, fans sending me packages when I'm sick. So she's like, oh shit, like this is actually happening.
talking about moms. My mom, I was talking to her, or I was texting with her, or talking to her on the phone, and she listens to almost all the podcasts now
That's
too. So
fire.
she's like, she goes, I really like that MRG guy.
Oh, good.
Out of a lot of the, she only reaches out to me probably like
Yeah.
once every like 4 or 5 podcasts. She goes, I
Nah,
really
that's
like that guy.
love.
She goes, man, he's a really smart kid. I really like what he was doing and what he
Appreciate
was
you.
talking about and the marketing and like, I don't know. It was kind of
Thank
cool
you.
because she doesn't really ever. She comments on a couple of them.
Yeah,
Like she commented
yeah.
on another one today about that pro skater and from California, and so
That's
she's like, man,
dope.
that he has a lot of wisdom, and she just kind of makes comments like that. But you were one of the only ones who
That's
actually like
love.
wrote me back, and she was like, I really like that guy.
That's dope. Shout out Mama Lynch.
Yeah, so it was cool.
I always love picking the mind of older people and just trying to learn from them, and you know, because what they say, like smart people, not smart people, but like wise people learn from others' mistakes. I mean, I'm hard headed though. I got to go through the shit. Like I don't learn from anybody's mistakes, unfortunately.
I'm kind of that way too. I mean, I do take advice and try to like, okay, maybe I won't go that route. But yeah, sometimes I just have to figure it out for myself. That's how I learn. That's how you
Yeah,
learn. You're
exactly.
like, okay. And then when you actually do something, you're like, okay, maybe that wasn't the exact way to do it.
Yeah.
But then you like, I'm just going to shift a little bit this way and it works
Right.
out. So sometimes just like doing something yourself
Definitely.
gives you like the best perspective on like how to move forward.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just like, and too, like sometimes you over prepare and then you get, then it's like, I mean, sometimes in business, I mean, you know better than me, right? Like sometimes maybe you're too prepared and waiting for the perfect moment when there's never for it, and it's like sometimes you just gotta jump.
Yeah, that's actually the people that we usually beat because
Yeah.
the one thing I'm good at is like if I have an idea, like I'll turn it into execution like within days or weeks. Because then, like you said, like I said earlier, it's like I'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
And so, but the faster I start,
Yeah.
faster I can make mistakes, faster I can figure out what works, what doesn't work. And then you just keep trying stuff. And then one of those things is going to work and you kind of go all in on that. And so, but if you never start and people are like, oh, I need a business plan,
Right.
I need an LLC,
Right.
I need to get my social media set up. It's like you
Right.
can never, you're going to lose against the guy that started last, 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Same thing in the music game. Like
Hell yeah.
there's probably a lot of people like, oh, I'm about to blow up, about to
this.
start. You just got to do it. And it takes years and years and years for
Yeah.
almost every musician. Minus like a one-off, 1 in a million,
For real,
it happens
for real.
every once in a
Yeah.
while. But most people, it's not an overnight success. They just have to grind.
10-year journey.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah, Jelly Roll. Shout out to Jelly Roll.
Rapping,
Yeah.
singing like more rock, and then like finally kind of found his voice in like a alternative rock and country and now
Yeah.
country. But shit, since he was like sleeping in a van since he was a kid, like he was just like, I was always doing music, just poor. And so it took him that long. And then he's like the number one guy in the country.
He's like
But after like 30 years of
Yeah.
in and out of prison, all music.
Nah, he get new artist of the year, like 37. That was dope, man. That was really dope to see.
And he's cool. He's helping a lot of people that are getting into what he was into, trying to steer people clear of like drugs, alcohol, and some of the mistakes that he was making when he was young.
Have you ever met him?
I haven't, no.
Yeah.
I saw him and we were living in the Four Seasons for a little while when we were in between houses, and he
Yeah.
was in the lobby, and I was like, nobody was around him. I was like, I ain't going up to him.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it was cool. It was like, I was like, damn, Jelly Roll's in there.
That's dope. Is he tall?
I don't know. He was sitting down on his computer.
Oh, okay.
He was sitting down on the couch and like just working. So I was like,
Yeah.
don't bother him.
Nah, I mean it's crazy that as an artist, it's obviously a blessing to be free in terms of like, technically I could wake up and go to a different country tomorrow, but at the same time it's like you always got to be competing. There's always somebody who's sharpening their pen, working on their craft, So yesterday we linked with shout my guy Rob Villanueva. His brother's Charlie Villanueva. He was in the NBA. He was like the 7th pick. Now we were just saying like some of the hardest industries. Like I always compare music to basketball. It's very similar in terms of like everybody wants to do it. Only certain people really get to make money from it and live their dreams. And it's just like the constant grind mentally and physically, and just, he was saying how he was at a barbecue and the Pistons called him like, yo, we want you to try out for the team. He had to leave the family barbecue right away, go hop on a flight and get to it, and it's just like it's a grind, you know. There's so many artists who are actually making a living off of it and doing really well, but there are even more artists struggling and just never get their shot, and it's just whack, man.
It is like sport. I mean, it is like professional sports because
Yeah,
like
you
not a
know.
lot. I mean, a lot of people try for it. I mean,
Yeah,
every kid wants to grow up and be most. If they're in sports, they want to be a professional athlete.
yeah.
And then the same thing in
Did you
musicians.
want to
Like
be a professional athlete?
I wasn't like
Yeah,
tremendously good at. Actually, when
yeah,
I was younger, I was soccer wasn't as big as it is now,
yeah,
but I was really good at soccer. Like, and I was on all the select teams. Like, I was
yeah,
playing with older kids,
yeah,
but it wasn't as big as it is today. Not in America.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so, at the time, I was like, it wasn't even that big, so it wasn't even my head to even be
Yeah?
professional. I guess no. Now it's way different. I mean, they make the most money out of anybody.
Did you have like soccer posters in your room with like Pele and who's your favorite? Is that how you say it, Pele or Malcolm?
Really. Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't. I didn't look up to a bunch of people. You know who I had in my? I had like Ferrari posters on my wall, like the
Oh
old
shit!
like. What else did I have on my wall?
You ain't want to play professional soccer. You ain't had no posters in your room.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't like. It wasn't big enough to where I'm like, that's what I want to do with my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
you like I don't want to do this shit. This shit ain't even popping out here.
Yeah,
You know?
I was trying to make money.
Nah, I feel. I mean, shit. Ferrari posters is as a kid.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like had like the some of the car posters, and then there was a little bit of basketball stuff on the like on the wall when I was really young,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
but nothing. Nothing. I didn't want to play professional sports really, and I wasn't that good at baseball.
yeah.
It's way too small for football, so like I played a little bit, but I wasn't.
Did you play high school football?
No, I didn't. I played all middle school all the way to the 8th grade, but I was like really small, not great.
I miss full equipment contact football. That shit was so fun. But I remember a couple times I got hit. I was like, whoa, like I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like I got laid out a couple times bad, especially I was on ninth grade on the varsity team and I was a late bloomer. I just got laid out a couple times by the seniors and I was just like, damn, like my head hurts. Like CTE is no joke, man. Like I'm glad sir, I'm glad a lot of football players are kind of retiring early and not putting their body at risk because I mean, you know, the brain is so sensitive. Like I can only imagine the yeah, man, just CTE. Like I can only imagine how you know people like football players are killing themselves because their brain is deteriorating. Like that shit is no joke. I mean, at one token, obviously they're millionaires and living their dream, right? So people are like but
But that's also the small percentage of them too.
yeah,
A lot of them, even though they're professional, they don't really make that much money, and then
right,
their
right.
career is like super short.
It is.
So you have a couple years that you made,
Mm-hmm.
a couple $1,000,000. That's not really like after you pay tax, it's not really a lot of money. If you get out and
Nah.
have no income,
Right,
that's,
right, right.
it's like it goes real quick.
You gonna let your kids play football?
I would let him do whatever he wants to do. I don't know, just by genetic wise, I don't know if he'd be the best at football. I don't know if he's going to be big enough to play.
You're not fast?
I was one of the fastest kids in the school.
Yeah, you give me.
I just
You
wasn't.
give me fast vibes. Like, nah, because I feel like you remind me of one of my friends from high school. And he was really good at soccer and he was really fast. I guess just the Dominican stuff. Like, we don't have a national soccer team. It's just baseball, 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 and basketball now. Even the Celtics Knicks opener, like both centers were Dominican descent. Carl Towns, Al Horford, which is really dope to see.
So yeah, I know. So let's talk about the new album you got coming out. The album, and then also maybe some marketing that you're doing since you are the marketing guy, and that's kind of how you started. And
definitely. I mean, shit. Even the album name itself, the single that's coming out tonight at midnight. Shout out DJ Camilo. He's legend. Hot 97 DJ. He's from Queens too. Spanish dude, legend. Salute Camilo. He played it on Hot 97. He was like, yo, it's Mr. I told all my boys, all my fans, yo, tune in. They about to play my song. He goes, yo, it's Mr. G from Queens. And my phone just blowing up like, yo, I know son didn't just call you Mr. G. And I texted him like, damn, my name MRG, not Mr. G. And then it's kind of just flipping the negative and turning it into a positive, you know, because it's marketing itself. Everybody was like, yo. And now I'm gonna name the album as MRG, not Mr. G. So
created a response, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yup. And yeah, the marketing, you know, content. I definitely want to look more into TikTok trends, whether that be dances or challenges or music videos. And yeah, some of the stuff we were talking about off camera, like with the branding stuff, I definitely want to look into that and find more creative ways of pushing music and my brand in general, right?
I think there's a way to do it just based on what, we're about to start doing with my stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be cool to see, since not a lot of other independent guys are doing
Yeah.
that. Like, it'd be really cool to like see that take off.
Hell yeah, definitely, man. Shit.
Where does the income come in? Like, which is each way in music that you can make income? Like,
Yeah. So I mean, with Empire, the income is the advance. Honestly, they're like, yo, here's this lump sum of money. It's an advance, which is you're projected to make this amount of money from streams in this amount of years. We're gonna give you that shit up front. So you're forfeiting your future revenue, but you're getting it all at once.
by 50%. You're forfeiting because is it a 50-50 split?
Yeah, so after you recoup, then it's like, okay, we split everything 50-50. Well, that's my deal. Certain people, depend on the leverage, might have 60-40, 70-30, depending on how big of an artist you are. And then other ways to make money, sync license. If ESPN likes his record, you might be able to get. I've heard sync licenses recouping a whole deal for some artists. They get into a movie or they get in a commercial and their whole shit is recouped.
When we interviewed Mike Jones, he said that he made most of his recent money off
Sync license.
one of what's the chicken wing franchise?
Wingstop?
Yeah.
That's fire.
They used one of his old like songs. Now, I mean, he never released it, but it won a song that he already had recorded.
Oh, he pitched it to them.
Yeah, and he said we made more money from that than anything, and it went so well for them. They now want another song from him.
That's fire.
And he goes, dude, we haven't even had to release an album in years because of those deals that we're doing like that.
That's crazy.
And it was just random. I don't know how, if they reach out to him reach out to his manager. I don't even know how it came about. I don't remember. He told us on the podcast. I just don't remember how it happened.
Is he independent?
He has Money Train LLC, which I think it's his.
Yeah.
So I think he is.
That's dope.
And I think he says, I guess after 30 years, you get your master's back. Does that sound right?
It depends on the deal.
Yeah, so I know that he made royalties the whole time.
Yeah.
But I know he gets his master's fully back like soon because it was so long ago.
Damn.
So I don't know exactly how he did his deal.
Mike Jones.
Yeah.
Nah, back then is a legendary song for sure. And the phone number shit he did was genius. Super genius.
Yeah, it goes back to marketing.
Definitely. I think marketing too, yeah, man, just getting more cameras on me and like documenting more day-to-day stuff. Like I was saying before, on the phone talking to my mom, just stuff like that. Like just giving the people that vulnerability or whatever, I guess, And even just preaching positivity and the books I read and all that stuff. Like I wanna put people onto that so they could feel like, it's just too, if I'm giving advice and I'm actually doing it and they're able to see it, it's like, damn, like this is somebody I want to follow, because I feel like there are a lot of coaches and people who give advice and they not even, they just kind of I guess scamming people. I don't know. How would you say it? Like if you're selling some shit and you're not even,
you're living that way, yeah. They're just trying to make money. It's not really who they
are. Yeah. Damn, even maybe some preachers, right? Like, I don't know. That's another story, but I feel like I used to ask people for advice now and I stopped asking a lot of people for advice. It's kind of fucked up, but it's like, if you're not doing better than me, I don't want your advice because you might say some shit that's going to fuck me up and I might try and listen. So like even in the studio, like that's why I like recording myself too, because it's like no disrespect to other artists, but if you're not doing better than me, I don't want to hear what you have to say. You know what I'm saying? And music is such a personal, like, I make it for me at the end of the day, I want to make the best songs for me. Like, it's cool to hear creative input, but in terms of, like, unsolicited advice, I'm not really trying to hear it, So.
Yeah, I always try to listen to people in business that are, always been one step ahead of me or where I want to be. Or,
exactly.
Those are the guys I want to listen to.
Exactly.
Not somebody that has never done it before, has no money, like I don't really
Yeah,
want to listen to that person.
exactly. It's
Not for business advice, maybe for different advice,
right,
but not
right,
for
right.
business advice.
Yeah, nah, it's true. And I like what we were. I was talking to my cousin. I was like, damn, Sean is right. Like the music industry's tough, but it's just business.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is in any industry. Like people are,
They're all cutthroat. That's going to
yeah,
happen in any industry.
you
It's the
know,
same. Nobody, it's not just the music industry.
yeah,
Where I think people probably, when they say that about the music industry, I think it's because when they're not business people.
yeah,
And so whenever they are just happy to get a record deal, they'll sign anything.
right,
And so it's more of, I think that's how people are saying, oh, it's cutthroat, because people are getting taken advantage of because they're not really sophisticated enough and they've been a starving musician their whole life, but then they get
yeah,
that one deal and
right,
sign their life away, and then they blow up and they make no money. It's probably why people have that same ideal. There's not a lot of
yeah,
like people that could come in and help you in that situation,
right.
probably.
Nah,
Right? I
for
mean,
real.
you can't get much advice unless you just reach out to somebody else, like, hey, I'm about to
Yeah,
sign this deal. Can you give me some advice, like on the mistakes that you made before you
right,
signed
right.
your first deal? That's the only way you could probably do it.
Yeah,
Like some type of mentor that has signed a bunch of music deals, because even if you listen to an attorney, it's like
right.
maybe he can
Different
give you a little bit of
yeah,
advice on like the contract side of it, but
and it's so my thing that I was telling you like at dinner with the music industry shit was like, and this is what I'm curious, like people are lying to my face. Well, I don't know if lying is the right word, but people are like, yo, I only want one album from you, but on the contract it'll say 5 albums. So it's like you are kind of lying to me. And is that the same in like business deals where you might have a business deal like, yeah, you could have 15% equity, but then there's a clause that
it's like
you
that.
yeah, a
It's
lot of line like
it it's definitely when you're doing those, it'll go back and forth with the attorneys and contract for a
true,
long
true,
time for
true,
that
true.
reason. People try to slide something in there, and then you're like,
Right,
hey, that's not what we talked about.
right.
And then the attorneys kind of just go back and forth until you both come to like a understanding, where we're like, okay, I'm good with this side of it and you're good with this side of it. But it's common. I mean, but not everybody's out there trying to like screw people over. I mean, it's just how it is in business, really. But there's good people. I have good business partners now, so I try to hang on to the ones that are really good.
Yeah, for real. Nah, that's dope, man. That's dope. And yeah, I know we were talking about the Rockefeller shit too. Your story kind of reminded me of that in terms of like your one your one partner was like, nah, I'm good with how it is, and you're like, nah, we trying to take this shit to the moon,
Yeah,
cause that's
and
what
I get it. We
Rockefeller
just
did,
wanted
right?
different. Yeah, we just wanted different things.
Yeah, you
He
want that
didn't want the
Ferrari.
stress and the
Yeah,
yeah, he didn't want the stress and like managing all those people. And then there is a lot of risk. Like when you're first starting out, you're signing personal guarantees on all the stuff that you're buying, on loans, on everything. And so if it doesn't go right, I mean, you're could potential for filing for bankruptcy. So a lot of people don't want that stress. Like they'll worry too much about like, what if it doesn't work out, or what if the market turns? And so you try to have to make the best decision you can and figure it out and try to always make money.
for real. Yeah, you just gotta move like God got you. Honestly, like I don't know, I kind of believe in all that stuff, and
I think I do too. Like if you do the right thing
yeah,
and you keep working really hard and just like figuring out what works and what doesn't work and like learn from your mistakes, it'll work out one day.
definitely.
I just don't know.
When
It could be a year, could be 2 days, could be 3 years. Same thing with the social media. I was never on social media.
yeah,
Gentry was. She built their whole business from it, and I was always like against it. It's like, man, I don't really want people knowing what I do in my life, and
yeah,
like I was always kind of worried about it. And then I got to a point where like, man, I saw all these people,
yeah,
like all the new billionaires are
yeah,
social media that have a big
yeah,
social media influence. And I'm like, okay, I can't ignore it. There's something to it. It's not really
right,
social media anymore. It's just media. It's like media. You
yeah,
get like, where else can you? Back in the day, you had to pay for a bunch of TV ads to show to people,
right,
and then
right.
now it's free.
Got your commercial right
Yeah,
there.
it's free. Like something could take off and
Yeah,
goes like 10 million people see it, and you didn't pay for it.
nah, it's crazy. Social media is crazy. I
So I
think
do see the value now. I really do. Like I'm sure there's going to be some bad that comes with it too, but
definitely,
I'm gonna figure it out. It's one of those things like, hey, I don't know when it's going to work, but it might work a
right,
couple months. I figured starting the podcast, I was like, you know what? It'll take us like 2 years, I think, before it like really starts like in my mind. That's what I was telling myself.
When did it launch again? When was the first episode?
June-ish. When
Of
did we
this year?
launch? Yeah, when did we launch the podcast? No. When did we release them? June 4th. So we
Of this
started,
year?
yeah,
Damn.
we started shooting in early though, so we had like a backlog. So we probably started
Yeah.
shooting in March, but
Right,
didn't
right,
release any
right.
until June. And then that way we didn't know how busy we were going to be. We didn't. We
Right.
always wanted to stay consistent. And then we read a stat. It was like to be 1% of all the podcasts in the world, you just had to shoot over 20 episodes because everybody quits.
Wow.
So we're way past the 1%ers now.
That's fire.
And so I read that and I was like, well, that's fucking easy. I can do that.
Yeah.
But then I still was like, if we do it for long enough, it'll work.
Yeah.
And if I put, the right consistency and time and hire the right people, like it's going to work out.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but
Yeah.
it will. It might be a year, it might be 3 months, it might be 10 years, it might be 2 years, but it'll work out if I do it long enough. And I'll keep trying to I'll do things that people aren't doing. Like I'll try to keep doing things that people aren't doing. And I think eventually it'll take off. It's just like anything else. It just takes time, and people give up when it doesn't go viral the first time. Same thing. You release a song, you're like, damn, man, didn't really get that many views. You just like got to keep going.
It's sad, man. I see people who are very talented. Like, I'm like, damn, you only got 4 songs on Spotify. Like what's going on?
Don't want to work it and don't want to get like they put out stuff and like, man, I thought 1 million people were going to listen to it. It's like, dude, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you got to build brand.
Yeah.
And that's what, that's what I have to do too on social media, because I started with nothing. Nobody knows who I am. Like, I have to like do enough interviews, enough podcasts, put out enough content. So we're like, okay, I know who that guy is, and I, trust him enough to either like listen to his content or, maybe buy something from him in the future. And so that's the goal. We're building brand. Like, might take forever. It's the same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Building brand.
Definitely.
Building brand.
Seriously.
And all your shit's taking off. It's just like, when do you get to that global, like, it's like the one day, all the work you put in for like the last 10 years is going to be like, people are it's like, dude, this dude came out of nowhere, but it's not really out of nowhere.
Nah.
It's like 10 years, 15 years of like grinding, some stuff taking off, some get played on the radio one time, then something blowing up on YouTube or Spotify one time, and then all of a sudden it's like, dude, that's an overnight success.
Right. 10-year overnight success. It's crazy. I'll be listening to some of my old shit and I'm like, damn, this shit was kind of trash. But in the moment, like, I just felt like nobody could stop me, and I was already.
What's really old though? Because I liked a lot of that older stuff.
Nah, this stuff.
Oh,
that's not
before
on,
this not on. Okay.
Nah. This stuff in the emails, and like, you just hear your old stuff and it's a little cringeworthy and stuff like that. But at the time, I just thought at the time it was so fire. It's just funny, like, looking back. And
you also got to find your sound and then get
true.
practice. Like,
just the reps, you gotta get the reps in.
Yeah, that's what it is with anything. And that's what I told Gentry on. I was like, I might not be good when we first start the podcast, but after like a year or two, I promise I'll be really good with the podcast and just content in general online, because I'll keep learning. Like, I was never good on camera, but over time I'll get really good.
Right,
and so
right.
I just know I just have to do it, enough times, and then you'll be good. It's like anything else.
Yeah, exactly. What do you feel like there's some things you learned or didn't expect to how can I word the question? Or maybe some stuff you learned about yourself, like, damn, I didn't know either I could do this, or like, this shit is actually kind of fun, like,
Yeah. Talking about business has always been fun to me.
Yeah, about businesses.
Yeah. Talking about business has always been fun to me. So that's pretty easy. It's like, well, if I get to sit here and have a reason to talk to people about life and business, like, that's not really like work to me. If I could ever make money with it one day, that'd like be pretty cool.
Not if, when.
Because that's what I do outside of work anyways. It's like, that's what I talk about.
Right.
And so if I get to hang around more people like that and then meet more people and talk about that stuff, plus I'm learning more from all these people that come in.
Right.
Every person that comes in, I learn like some little, like, it's like, man, I never thought about it that way, or I didn't know you could do that in real estate.
Right.
I didn't know you could do it this way in real estate. I didn't know that like you could get this type of loan. I did like a bunch of stuff. So every person that comes in, I've learned something from.
Damn, that's crazy. Like, when you put it that way, your podcast is really like
A
a
networking thing
library and
and a
networking.
networking, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you getting access to all these people's minds and see how they think. And I feel like you do a great job of finding like-minded people who are only going to bring like value in terms of
That's what we're trying to do.
mentality
Yeah.
and like because it's
Even the 2 podcasts I did with you and Mike Jones,
my
the I learned a lot about the music. Like I had
yeah
no idea. I didn't know.
right
Never know.
yeah
Maybe I'm gonna invest one day. Like I don't know.
yeah
But like going through all this stuff and learning about it, it's like you just never know in the future. Like, oh, well, I know I can call up this person. I can call up this person. If
right
somebody presents an investment to me, like I don't
yeah
know, and it may work out one day. I may end up making a bunch of money from it. So
right
I try to learn about everything from all business
yeah
ideas or angles or industries. Like I want to learn everything I can. And it gives you a little bit more confidence. Like, okay, well, yeah, I know this guy did it this way.
yeah.
I know this guy did it this way, and so it just helps out in any business deal, really, or any future.
It's crazy too because with the I noticed like people were buying a lot of firms were buying people's catalog, and I realized kind of why they started doing that because with AI can now know if someone's catalog is being used in a sample. So now they just cleaning up with samples. Cause I'm like, damn, why is everybody buying these catalogs? And then I'm seeing
Oh,
stuff
so if they
like,
pay 200 million for a catalog, like they're
yeah,
gonna go and monetize it, and then
exactly.
everyone that's using it, they're gonna say, hey, you can't use this
Yeah,
anymore.
like and on the song Anti, I say she don't want no love. Well, I try to say she don't want no lovey dovey. She don't want no kiss kiss, which is the Chris Brown T-Pain. She want that lovey
Yeah.
dovey, that kiss kiss. So I just said she don't want no love. Completely different melody, but that one line, Empire was like, "Yo, we got to hit up T-Pain." T-Pain was like, "Yeah, I just need 50,000 for that." I was like, "Damn!" So I had to change that line right away. It was crazy, like. So if I would have put it out and it would have blown up, they would have taken everything.
Yeah,
You know,
they would have
so
tried to they sued you for and tried to get royalties from the song.
yeah, which I, t- I tell artists like, if you getting sued, that means your shit is popping, and it's a good problem to have, because you're gonna make so much money from the shows and if you didn't use that memorable lyric or memorable sample, maybe the shit wouldn't have taken off. So
Yeah,
it's tough with music, like in terms of like what's ethical and what I don't know. I don't think sampling is. I think the fact that somebody could tell me no, I think is crazy. You know, that somebody can own.
well,
I don't know.
for a couple words or one line, that seems a little
Yeah,
weird, but
right.
definitely for like a beat though, and like a
Yeah,
hook and like a song,
yeah,
like I could kind of see that. But if you're just using like a couple words out of a whole song that's different, I don't really know if it makes sense. But I get it, man. That's y'all's asset is the only asset that you have, right? Like is the music. So I kind of see that side of it too. It's like these are all my assets. This is how I was making money.
right.
Like don't use my don't
True,
steal my don't
true, true,
steal my art, right?
true. And I think T-Pain had to deal with it. So now he's on the other end of the seat, like, yo, what's up, 50K? I need that. I was like, damn, 50K? That's a million streams is 3,000 songs. You telling me 50 times three? Wait, 50? I need 3,000. I need like 13 million 15 million streams just to
Make it make
give you
sense.
your back money. Like, nah, T-Pain, you good. I'll change the lyric, big dog. I was gonna call the song "Fuck T-Pain," but I was like, nah, I'm tripping. Just as like a way to like. But I'm like, nah, I ain't even mad at T-Pain. Like, he's going for the money. Empire approached him, but I'm gonna tell him when I see him, like, damn, bro, like, I said one line, and I put no in front of it, and you wanted 50 bands for that. You gangster for that. That shit's crazy. I want to get into the video game. My cousin, we be playing 2K, and I know T Grizzly. What's he make? Like he make like $1 million a month, right, Jay? Yeah, he makes some crazy
From songs or playing?
from playing video games, having his own world in GTA. They'll make like their own server where people can play video games with him and interact, and then he'll also be streaming it on Twitch. So not only are they playing with him in the game, but they'll watch him react to it. So, and then you make content from that, and it's just like,
And so they're paying for access just to play with them, kind of thing. Like
yeah, they're paying. So actually, yeah, they might be actually. I think maybe they do pay to join the server. They do? How much is it? Wow. How can we do that with 2K? They don't have servers, right? That's only GTA. Yo, we got to figure out how to do that with 2K because I don't really play GTA.
So when I connect you with my guy, ask him about that because
Yeah,
that's
hell
something
yeah.
I have no idea about, but he might know. Like if you build a community on the gaming
Yeah.
side of it, and then on the social media side, like you could probably have two of them. If you can run ads on Twitch, I don't know much about Twitch, but there might be a way to do it.
I ain't gonna lie. I leave my gaming system in his crib because
Get
I'll
stuck on
fuck
it.
around and play 7 hours and not even realize and be like, damn, like, especially when I'm stressed, like video games would be like, I noticed whenever I had like a song dropping or something in life wasn't going that well, I will abuse video games. So I had to not have that temptation around me, because video games are fun as hell, but it's like,
I get addicted to everything.
yeah,
I always want to win. So I'm like, if
yeah,
I get, I'm like, I'm gonna be the best at this. So I
exactly,
probably shouldn't play that either. So I don't start playing
exactly.
golf because I'm like, it
Oh,
sucks down all my time, and I'll try to like go and just be better and better and better. One day I'll start, but that's why I have not even tried. I don't even want to
a golfing
attempt.
podcast would be fire, low key.
I think there's some Mikey's doing that. Yeah, Mikey Taylor, the guy I interviewed, the professional skateboarder. He crushes it in a business now, but he had his own shoe. He had all
Yeah,
this action figure, all this stuff.
that's fire.
But he told me he's doing he
Yeah,
does a podcast like once a month
from
from the
golfing,
course. And he said we just ride around and like
that's fire.
I'll bring guests on and we'll play and we'll just bullshit and like
That's
he's
dope.
yeah. He told me about that.
You're gonna have to get on that show.
I haven't played golf in 10 years probably. Like I don't know. I'll screw up the whole
Yeah,
the whole game for them. They'll be
nah,
waiting
that'll
on
be
me the whole
funny.
time.
That'll probably go viral though. That'll be the stuff that goes viral.
Right? The stuff that you don't think is going to.
Yeah, like one of my most viral videos, I was eating halal food, like just rapping a song, and that song and that video alone just really helped my career. So it's like that's why it's good to always have the cameras on. As whack as it is, right? Because even you, like, I'm a little introverted. I don't, like you said, you didn't even want social media. You wanted to be out the way, but it's like you gotta kind of do it. Even at dinner, I'm like taking pictures of the steak and like I feel like like an IG chick, just like what I'm saying, like
Gentry does that too, but
yeah,
the difference now is like she's built a huge business off of it.
yeah, exactly.
She never ran one paid ad, and
Yeah,
she built multi-million-dollar business off of just
right.
organic social media.
Nah,
And I
that's
think she has about
fire.
100,000, 200,000 followers, across platforms or whatever.
Yeah,
But those people are like really bought into her,
yeah,
like
yeah,
they're like cult following.
yeah,
And so she posts all that stuff, and I watched her build a huge business. And so this was the first year she started running ads, like
yeah, yeah.
out of after all that time. But I see the value in it. Like that's what it does for people. Like you can build a huge business
Yeah.
if it's the right followers. You don't
Yeah.
even need 2-3 million followers. Like you can still build a huge business.
Yeah, you could have 1,000 fans. 1,000 fans paying 100 a month is like millions. So it's true. It's really quality over quantity for sure.
Yeah. So that'll be I'll hook you up with a guy that can help you since you do have a base. I think you can really leverage that. Like instead of
Damn.
it's hard to start from zero,
Yeah.
like what I'm doing.
Right.
But
right.
if you already have that base, like
Right.
it's almost like putting just a little bit of gasoline on it, and he can fuel it a little bit.
Damn.
Man, I think it could work out really
I
well.
got goosebumps just thinking about
Yeah.
that shit. I just already, because I've been trying to like streamline my shit so bad in terms of like the way you do it, man. You got a great team, and like, it's just all about.
Well, you got to be able to cash flow it too. So we're not quite there yet, but that's what we're working on. So
Yeah.
because then you can just scale it for however long you like, as big as you want. Because if it's producing some type of money,
Right.
you can just throw that money back in and just keep
right.
throwing it back in on content and ads and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. But it's kind of hard to grow that big if you just keep spending more and more money, and it's just burning cash. Right, at some point, it's just like you're gonna run out of money, or it doesn't make sense. Right, like it's got to produce something.
It's crazy. Like, that's how I was with Facebook ads. I was just money.
See?
But then out of nowhere, the creator program happened, and I made like 10 bands off of me just eating pizza and putting I literally was in Chicago. I put the caption New Yorker tries Chicago pizza for the first time. I made $10,000 from that video.
But they
And
don't
it's
do the creator program anymore.
nah, it was just for that 1 year. And yo, that it was just like that's why you gotta invest in yourself because you never if I didn't run those ads and build that community, I wouldn't have been able to make that money out because like going viral, like you said, you gotta have some kind of base. You know what I'm saying? So my fans were
Especially
sharing
back
it.
then.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's a little easier because they
Yeah.
show it to more people that aren't your
True,
followers.
true.
But back then, it was
Yeah.
like only your followers saw
Yeah,
like what the content that you were putting out.
exactly.
Like very, very little other people saw it.
Exactly. Yeah, Reels changed the whole game. And shout out to TikTok, right? Because TikTok was that's what Facebook is doing. They're like, yo, we want to be like TikTok. Because TikTok, you don't have to have a lot of followers, and they'll send your shit all over the world.
Yeah, now it's about the content, which is
Yeah,
cool. I
which
mean,
is
that's
cool.
yeah,
It
that is
it
cool.
Makes it about what
The
really
creator,
matters.
yeah,
you
the
know?
person that's putting out the content. Now you don't have to, have millions of followers to
Yeah.
like grow your audience like that.
But it's also like, yeah, just the barriers to entry is so like low. So it's like you got to be on your shit because there are people going viral every single day right now. You know?
There's a difference though, in somebody that I think somebody just watches for like purely just like I don't know,
Doom scrolling.
yeah,
Like
just
doom scrolling.
stupid stuff, and then people that actually create value for somebody.
True.
Those are the people that can like make good money one day. Like you have to create some type of value for somebody.
I don't know. The stupid should be making
I don't know. Besides the streaming stuff, is like
the stupid should be making it, at least in the music industry. But I feel you though. I know what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
build a community of like.
well, they're that means they're creating. Some people are liking that music, so they're creating some
Yeah.
type of value for those people that are
Right.
their fans, right? It's like
yeah. Like Takashi's a great marketer, great troller.
Oh, yeah.
like, nah,
Dude,
this shit crazy.
where so talk about somebody that has done a lot of stuff that in my mind not really the greatest artist, but now the Spanish stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
What Spanish stuff?
The like he's doing songs just completely in Spanish.
Oh, Takashi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're like 100 million views, 150, like
Yeah.
way bigger than he had ever done in just
Right,
regular
right.
regular songs that he was rapping from New York. Like
True.
it's really big.
True. I think too. Like I know he definitely be using bots and he be faking his shit, but
Think so?
hell yeah, he's talked about it.
Oh, really?
But I mean, if you get 100 million and 30 million of real streams, it's like that's still 30 million. So you're able to like the fake doesn't look too fake. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I think also because the Spanish market, like you have
Oh,
so many
yeah.
people.
and he's working with pretty big artists.
That,
Yeah, it's true. The Spanish market is crazy right now.
Because if you
honestly.
take the amount of Spanish people in the world,
Yeah.
it's a shit ton. And in America, we only have a couple 100 million people. What, 300 million people maybe?
What's the most is English more popular than Spanish?
I don't think so.
Really?
Google how many.
I'm about to ask.
Yeah, how many Spanish people are in the
I
world?
think Arabic is the number one language, right? Let me see. Or actually not. Chinese? Mandarin?
Second? Yeah, see.
You Googled that? All right. Okay. I'm about to call you out.
That's
if
a
you
way
capping.
bigger audience.
Yo, I want to make some K-pop music. I want to do all that
I
stuff.
was about to say your stuff's like it leans that way sometimes. If you got one big Spanish artist like that was pretty big, y'all could make probably a really fire song that would
Definitely.
blow up,
Definitely.
especially on YouTube. That's all the top trending songs are like Spanish songs, Spanish rappers, Spanish songs. Like those are the ones that are always in the top 20.
I'll be like, damn, I wish I was more fluent in Spanish. But everything happens for a reason, you know. That's whatever's a con, you can flip to a pro. So it's just figuring that out and just running with it, honestly.
What's the song that comes out tonight?
Oh yeah, damn. Mírame. It's called Mírame.
Yeah, I know. I've heard the clips a bunch of times
Yeah,
and
hell
the whole
yeah.
song. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Just look at me. Mírame.
Okay.
Like look at me.
I was wondering what it meant. I was trying
to.
I know a lot of Spanish words now because of my kid.
Yeah.
Like he knows Spanish, and so like I pick up on single words, but some stuff I don't know the meaning of it. But I was trying to guess. I never looked it up, but I was trying to guess what it
All the
was just
context.
based off the song. Like I was like, okay, what is that? Like, what does it mean based on the context that he has around it?
And I think that's why me not being fluent in Spanish,
It's almost
it helps me it helps me help non-Spanish speakers understand the context of the song because I don't even know full-blown Spanish. So I'm like, I'm basically feeding it to y'all, like, like this is what it is. Which I think that's why me not being fluent gives me the ability. It's kind of like, even though it's my flaw, it's kind of my superpower in a way because I'm doing this without being fluent, and it helps me because there are a lot of second generation kids from like my father's an immigrant. Like I feel like America's full of all
Bunch.
those Spanish
Oh, in
people
Texas
who
for sure.
exactly, even Texas, and
There's a ton.
so it's definitely a market to it's definitely a market for it. I remember in school I was like, by 2055 America's gonna be like 40-50% Spanish. I'm like, oh shit. And at that time I didn't know I was gonna be a rapper, so but I was like, damn, I might run for president now that I fuck with you.
What made you start including? You probably told us the last time you were on. Like, started including some
The
of the Spanish
Spanish,
words. Yeah.
honestly, um oh, when I was listening to Spanish artists and they would do a little bit of English, I was like, yo, that shit sounded so fire. I was like, I hope that's what I sound like when I do the flip side. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing Daddy Yankees mumble a little bit of English words at Tego was like such a ill. It was so ill for me to hear that. It was like, I'm gonna do this on the flip side. Hopefully people fuck with it. And I've been doing that for a minute. And then I had a Spanish project where I had to rap and like people were like, yo, this shit sound fire in Spanish. I was like, word? Thanks, I'm gonna run with this shit. So and I'm just surprised, like, there's a lot, hip hop's from New York, so Spanish people are always present in it. So I'm just surprised there hasn't been more American rappers implementing Spanish. So it's kind of crazy that like it doesn't feel real that they're not that I'm kind of the guy, I guess, like aside from Big Pun, what's his chick's name from Cali? Snow the Product, she does it too, I believe. But she from Cali, so that really doesn't hit in New York like that. But yeah, it's crazy that a lot of people don't do it. So I'm excited to just keep.
I kind of know how it used to be, but do New York people listen to West Coast music at all, or is it like
Not
really
really,
small out
honestly.
there?
Yo, you listen to West Coast music? Look, he's shaking his head. Yeah.
I grew up listening to like I grew up listening to like around here, so
Yeah.
it was all like Southern
Yeah.
rap, like so that, and then some West Coast stuff kind of started trickling in. Like when Dr.
Yeah.
Dre and everybody came out, that's all it was all over TV down here.
Word. Dr. Dre. I was just thinking that Dr. Dre was the one shit. We listened to Dr. Dre, but that was because of Eminem, though. You know?
But this was like right before him when they were blowing up on MTV. Like that's all they would play is nothing but the Chronic album. But I remember I didn't listen to much New York stuff. And then one of my buddies in my home, well, he's still one of my best friends. He was on all the New York stuff. Like he was like, you gotta listen to this, you gotta listen to this. And the first album that changed my mind was
Get Rich or Die Trying.
no, it was the Jay-Z, the Blueprint 3, or no,
Okay.
is it the Blueprint?
What year?
The one with
what
the
year would you
girls,
say
girls,
was about?
girls song.
Oh damn, that was a minute ago.
Yeah, this is a while back. But after I listened to that whole album, I was like, man, I started listening to a lot more. I started listening to a lot because I didn't even listen to his early stuff before that, really.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Nah, but that was some of his not to interrupt. That was some of his earlier stuff though. He didn't really have much before that. I don't think.
Well, Hard Knock Life and like a couple albums before that, right?
Oh, okay.
And so my friend would always listen to it. I was like, man, I can't really get into it. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
And then that one album came out, and I was like, I started appreciating a lot more of other like New York
shit.
rap around it. Yeah.
Nah, Jay-Z is.
Yeah, he's good.
Jay-Z's legendary. Jay-Z be saying shit that's like, and he's somebody I look up to business wise. I feel like people be saying he's a snake and shit, but
I don't know.
I don't
see a lot of that.
I don't get that. I don't get that vibes because of the whole Dame Dash situation. I don't get that vibe.
He's also, I see interviews with him now, and
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in a good spot. Like I don't know if it was ever.
Yeah?
I don't
Is it
know.
a Diddy shit? What you mean?
Is
in a
it
good
Dame?
spot?
Is it Dame? Like
Oh, you talking about Dame?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you talk about
Oh
Jay-Z.
no! I'm talking about Dame.
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
like
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
see if he's saying a bunch of bad stuff. I don't really give it a lot of
Yeah,
credit. It's like
yeah.
okay, maybe he's just like
I just think
blaming people, and maybe it really didn't happen. I don't know.
Yeah,
You don't really hear it that much with Jay. Like you hear about him being a pretty good businessman.
Yeah, Jay's just smart, man. He knows like being stoic, not crashing out on people, and
Yeah.
just not less is more. Like You know, it's just what you say about someone says a lot about yourself. So it's like, even in like a relationship, like I tell my guy
Yeah.
all the time, like I've been in a toxic relationship too. I get it. Like love could be tough, but if you clowning your ex and making her look bad, that was who you chose to lay with. Like
Yeah.
that's that. You know what I'm saying?
You also don't ever want to do that anyways. Like that's not a good look. I don't think for any situation.
Damn, I did
Whether
say,
it's an ex business partner or
yeah,
ex. But I know what you're saying. Like
yeah,
you could talk about the situation, but
right,
not to
right,
actually like call out the person and
yeah,
like this is her name, this is her address. Like
right,
she's a POS, but like I don't
right.
know. But yeah,
Damn,
I've always taken that road too. Like plus I just don't even want that in my life, all the negativity and stuff.
yeah,
I like try to steer clear of that. I want to be always positive no matter what's going on. And so I've had a bunch of bad business deals like with just people that have screwed me over or whatever, and I'm like it is what it is, and
yeah,
I'll just I don't really want to do business with that person anymore. I'll
right.
just kind of steer around it, but I don't let it ruin my life. I'll just kind of keep going. And same thing with a relationship or a friend or anybody.
Yeah, I'm kind of a hypocrite because I said on one of my songs I started out like "fuck my ex, he a chicken."
That was an
Yeah,
old one though, huh?
yeah.
You
Nah,
know
that
what
was like a
though?
couple months ago, and I wasn't able to drop it with the label. It was my friend's song because of the sample. So it is what it is. But I didn't get too specific. Like I could just
That's
be
what I'm
like,
saying.
nah,
You
that
don't.
was my
Nobody
different
knows who it
ex.
is.
Like
Yeah.
I hope she ain't feel no. I mean, hopefully she just didn't hear it. Honestly, my ex ain't really. She wasn't the biggest fan of my music, which was
Really?
difficult. Yeah, she wasn't
Why?
honestly. Like she just didn't see the vision. You know, she loved how passionate I was about it, but like she didn't. I told her I'm gonna be one of the biggest artists. She's like, yo, you gotta be more realistic. Like, what if this doesn't happen by 35? I said, you bugging, like, you know
See,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And she
So
told me about the
she
law of
didn't.
attraction, and I'm like, yo, everything you telling me, like, you telling me to be realistic and do this and live in reality when this is, I'm like, that's crazy, you know? So
Every single person that made it big in music,
mm,
business, sports, everybody told them the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah,
It's like, oh, be realistic. You're not going to play for the NBA.
right, right,
I'm
right.
sure they heard that 100 times. You can't be realistic if you want to like get to the top, because that's what all the normal people do.
Exactly.
If you want to be normal and just be average, then yeah, you can be like, okay, maybe I'm not good enough, but you have
Yeah,
to have the mindset to like get you to that top spot.
definitely. I mean, even Jay talks about it. He was like, his uncle was like, yo, you'll never sell a million albums. And Hove was like, look, he was just projecting his shit onto me. You know, just because he thinks he can't do it, he's going to, and vice versa with people who are telling you to be realistic. That's because they don't think they can do it. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, it just goes back to like my parents. I'm very lucky. My parents, anything I wanted to be in life, they're like, yo, go do that shit. Like, it really starts from that. Like, I I can only imagine how hard it is for somebody mentally to feel like they can do it. And not to talk about my ex, but it's like she wasn't privileged the way I was to have people say, "Yo, you can do whatever you want in life." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like even though my pops wanted me to go to MLB, he was dope for supporting me doing the music shit. So
Yeah, you definitely, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to have somebody that supports you. I mean, even if it's not music, if it's whatever, you have to have somebody. If not, man, it makes the hard days of like just trying to get successful, it makes those days way harder because you have to come home and then
definitely,
like then you're
definitely,
like, man, like some other negative, like I haven't on top of all the other stuff that went wrong today.
right.
Now I got to deal with like another negative person, like bringing me down even worse. So that's a huge deal. You want to be with somebody that's going to support you.
And she did, like, don't get it twisted. She was front row at the shows. Like, she held it down. But you can't convince somebody to have faith in you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They either have faith or they're like, oh, like, this my man. I'm gonna be there front at the show, but in the back of their mind, it's like, okay, when is he gonna be able to financially support me?
So yeah, I see how
You know what
she
I'm
was looking
saying?
at it. She was like, well, not a lot of people make it,
And
and
I get it. I
yeah,
get where she
I
was
see.
coming from. I was like, yo, if this how you feel, like, then we shouldn't be together. It's that simple. Like, I can't. How am I gonna convert you into a follower? You know what I'm saying? Like,
She's she needs to be with somebody that has a 9 to 5
yeah, low key.
because that's always gonna happen.
Right. For real.
It's
Or I
like
mean, or realistically, she could be somebody, she could be an entrepreneur, but somebody maybe who's already established.
yeah,
Yeah, man, relationships are like it's tough. I mean, sharing your energy with somebody and just I don't even know. I'm definitely not rushing to be in a relationship, you know?
When I was younger, I wanted no part because I was
Yeah.
like, they're just gonna slow me down.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so like I would
Absolutely.
always like I don't want a girlfriend. Like I mean a serious girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, I knew like certain things that I wanted to accomplish. It just wouldn't be good to go down that path early on, and I just wouldn't have the time for it. So no matter what, it wasn't going to work out probably because I was trying to work 18 hours a day and hustle, and
Right.
like I just didn't even want the stress of like trying to make
Yeah.
somebody else happy. And I hadn't met the right person, but still, I was like, and then me and Gentry got together, and I was like, damn, wow, this is the first girl that I can talk to. She's smart, you know, she supports me. But then she broke up with me for working too much.
Damn.
Like I don't know how many years it was
How was
later.
that? How was that? Did you like, were you like, damn, like, I
Okay,
gotta
so
pull up. I gotta have this drink real quick. I gotta cry, get in my bag.
no,
Like,
it was like when it happened, when she left, she was like, look, you know, I don't think you're ever gonna stop. She worked a 9 to 5 at the time too, so that
oh, you
she
did
would,
say that. That was before her business.
yeah, she would get off work.
Damn.
She in her defense, she's driving like 2 hours one way, 2 hours back, and then when she got off work, I was working the whole time. And so she's like, I don't want to be with somebody that is just gonna work for the rest of her life and doesn't ever want to go on vacation.
Fair.
And I was like, look, I love you more than anybody that I've ever, you know, been with, and I definitely see a future, but I was like, I'm not gonna change my goals.
Damn.
But I mean, I was on the other hand, I was really sad. I was like, man, I don't know, I don't think I can meet somebody else like her, and I haven't yet up to this point in my life. And so it was sad in that way. But she left, and I think a year and a half went by, and we didn't talk one time. So it wasn't one of those relationships where, you know, when somebody leaves, you're like, oh hey,
That
you know,
was me.
see her.
That
What
was me and my
I know.
ex. I ain't gonna lie.
It wasn't like that, and that's kind of how both of us are anyway. So you add both of us together, and it's like, I mean, not even a text message.
Shit, I bet you if it was during COVID, I would have been texting and toxic and shit. We thought the world
Oh,
was
maybe
ending.
that was
You
weird.
know,
That
I
was
was
a weird
like,
time.
I heard her like, yo, the world might end. Like, I'm trying to see you.
I also didn't want to be that person. It's like, well, if she doesn't want to be with me, I'm not going to just keep blowing her up. That was part of it.
Damn.
And so she leaves. I mean, I start dating other girls, and then she, I think, dates somebody like not. She has a boyfriend. I was just dating a bunch of girls, but then a long time went by, and one of her friends reached out to me and was like, "I think she really misses you." Like the,
You was hyped when you saw that.
I was like, "Oh shit!" It's but
Damn.
so we go to dinner one time, and it was like nothing ever even changed.
Damn.
It was like the same as it was like the time both time we split. It was weird. It was like the same. Like nothing. I felt no different. Like.
But damn, so when she left, you had, I mean, you had no temptation to text. I mean, I'm sure
Oh
you
yeah,
did,
100.
but
Yeah.
you were like, nah, this isn't it.
I was like, man, what is that gonna do? Like, it's not gonna.
If you love it, let it go, and it
Yeah,
comes back.
I mean, if it's gonna work out, I'm not gonna pressure her into it working out.
I
Like,
feel you. There's a thin line between like chasing a woman and pursuing a. I
well,
feel
and
like,
I'd
right?
heard she had gotten with a guy. That.
Oh, so you
I mean,
being
it wasn't right.
respectful.
It
You
wasn't
being
right away. I
respectful.
mean, it was months and
Yeah.
months later. But
Right.
I'm like, I'm not gonna just text somebody.
Right.
Like, I had no idea how the relationship was going. I wasn't really in communication with people that knew her that much, so it wasn't like I was hearing about like.
You didn't follow her on social media?
I don't think I did at the time. I didn't have social media at the time at all.
Damn.
Like, I didn't even have an account, so that probably helped too.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
it's like I didn't have to see any like make me sad all the time.
Exactly. Damn.
Yeah, I didn't have one account, so I didn't even know. I didn't even hear about it. We were in a different town at that point.
That's crazy. That was like the old days, like no social media. I mean, that's a cheat code though, like to focus and
Yeah.
and not even think about.
Where it got crazy for me was when we split up. This is the first time I was really doing good, and so
Really doing good? Oh, like business wise.
I mean, I
Right.
always did okay, but like, I mean, everything had like really started paying off, and so
My fault, not to interrupt. So after
Okay.
you split,
No.
that shit started booming.
No. I was already taken off, and so that's why I was working 24 hours a day.
Right.
But when we split, it was the first time I had been single,
Oh, you was like,
and I had this huge, crazy house that I built with like this pool in the center, and I was 28.
damn.
I had a Bentley when I was
My
28.
dog was a bachelor.
I had a Bentley before everybody had one on social media.
Damn.
And so then when I started like meeting girls and going out, it was like, I was like, oh, this is really crazy.
That's
It
fire.
got, I'm not gonna say really easy, but I mean, I never had a problem like getting girls, but
Yeah.
it like got a little too weird, like where you could just like
Yeah, I feel
it
you.
just got weird. It was uncomfortable a little bit sometimes.
Damn.
But so
That's
it
fire.
was kind of fun for a little while, and then like gets old real quick too though.
Yeah, like
Like
anything, like anything.
yeah, it's like after a year of that, I was like,
Damn, that
That's why when she came about a year and a half later, I was like, man, that's perfect timing. Like
right,
I
right.
didn't even really want to do this anymore, anyways.
That's hilarious. Did you ever use apps, dating apps?
No, that was again, I didn't even have social media, so
Your Tinder
now it's like
profile would have been
it's just
crazy with the
oh
Bentley
yeah,
and the,
I don't even think I would have put it on there, even if
yeah.
I had one at the time. Like it wouldn't have been. I didn't even have a Facebook. I'm not gonna put any of that stuff online.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be on the dating apps. I
I
ain't
was
gonna
nervous.
lie.
I was nervous back then too. Like I
Yeah,
didn't want not anybody to know what I had, but
I
I
feel
didn't
you.
want to put it out there at the time.
That's probably
Now I don't care anymore. It's
yeah.
more like I've just done the same thing for
Plus,
so
it's
long.
branding
Like I
for
feel
you too.
comfortable. Yeah, this is different. And then now we're trying to really scale a brand. And so I think people knowing like you have some authority to talk about something.
Yeah, hell yeah,
So
hell
it's
yeah.
like, well, what did he do? And it's
Right,
like,
how he
well, I
did
run all these
this.
businesses. Yeah. And so that's a little bit of it, but I definitely don't want to lead with that. Like, oh, here's all my car. Like, here's my this. That's not what I want to lead with.
Right.
And social media.
Yeah.
Candace
Do they tell you to flex more and like
Um, Candace posted a couple things one time without me knowing, and I'm like, oh, I don't know yet. I don't disagree with the post.
yeah.
It was actually really good, but I wanted more content to be out there about me before something like that. Before I started using that stuff. So I
Candace
don't.
knows.
No, I don't disagree. Like with the style of it, I just think at some point it will be really helpful. Yeah, it's just in the beginning. Like I just don't want people to think that like that's like
That's who you are.
yeah.
I got you. You don't want to be like the rich douche, like, yeah, I got
Yeah.
this family, like, yeah,
Yeah,
what's
and then
you know what I'm
Gentry's
saying?
embarrassed, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you're more than that. And so
I mean, shit,
it's
if
more
it
like once I
works.
get enough content out there, though, I don't care. Like, it's
Yeah.
not a big deal. That's the stuff I like.
Nah, I feel you.
I mean, I like that stuff, so I don't mind doing it. I just didn't want to do it. Get on social media day 2 and have all this stuff come out. Like, I don't know.
That makes sense. Who's on your like wish list for podcast guests?
Man, I don't know. We have a bunch, and then
Nah, but you specifically, like you
I
dying to
mean,
get this person.
but
on.
there's people that I can't get on. Like, I can't.
What
Get
you
on.
mean?
I don't know. Like, I mean, like the people that I want on are
like Mark Cuban.
yeah, or like Elon Musk, or like I mean, like top tier
You
people
get
that would
them
never
on?
come on. One day when we have enough influence, yeah, it'll be. Now with
Nah,
podcasts,
Elon Musk would be crazy.
but now I know now with podcasts though, all the people know they're so influential, and so even presidents are going on. Like if you have a couple million followers and some influence, like I mean that's where they're going to promote.
They probably taxing like crazy too
I don't
for an
know,
episode.
maybe. Yeah, it depends, especially unless it's another big person. But if it's a small person, yeah, they're gonna end up charging. A lot of people charge to come on if they have a bunch of viewers and real followers and a.
So Elon Musk, Mark Cuban.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd have Mark Cuban on. I don't know if I relate to him a lot. I like him, but there would probably be a handful of other people that I found probably before him.
Who?
Man, if Steve Jobs was around, I would want to
Yeah,
have him.
hell yeah. Steve Jobs would be crazy.
I used to read all his biographies, and I was like, he was one of the biggest guys I looked up to, like when I was like building all my stuff. I don't know why I compared myself to him and Elon Musk even before he got that big, but like Steve Jobs was like, I don't know. I knew everything about him. I read all the books.
What was that shit they call it? That he would do like a paradigm shift in reality. I'm gonna have to Google that because that's what really got me like, oh shit, like this dude was literally using like manifestation and
Oh, Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. It was like
What was most impressive to me is because when I was building my company, like the way that he could articulate his ideas,
right.
like he was just such a good like marketer and executor. Like he could just like lead a team of people and everybody would follow him just because he was so good at communicating like product ideas and just management and everything.
Right.
So that's why I looked up to him for all those reasons. And then of course you have a lot of people come out and say he was asshole or whatever, but I think to do something that big, you have to kind of be that hard on people and have that high of expectations. That's same with Elon. Everybody's like,
right,
he's a bitch to work for, but dude, he's like changing the world on every company that he does.
Yeah.
Like how do you just going to be complacent. Like, you know, he's
Right.
going to be hard on everybody.
And it's also like you can be hard on somebody if you getting your hands dirty too. Like Steve Jobs, I'm sure
Oh,
was
everybody.
pulling
And
all
Elon
night
too.
at
Yeah.
Elon too. You know, it's
Sleeping
like
on the floor and like
exactly
waking up at the office. I don't know. So that's always funny when I read those articles like, oh, you know, 3 people quit Elon, said he did this and too hard to work for. It's like, man,
you know what you're signing up
yeah,
for.
you're trying to change the world.
So the quote was, "It changed my life by helping me realize that anything is possible, and that my greatest block to personal transformation is my paradigm." Damn, it was like Steve Jobs advocating for a systemic paradigm change within the individual. It was just like the way he was able to get the most out of everybody, and
That's that's why I would always look up to him. It's like that's a
yeah,
really hard thing to do. And he just had, I don't know if it's just like a natural talent or something he got over time, but
yeah,
dude, his way of like communicating his ideas is like, it was so good. Like, I would listen to everything he said.
who would you put as your Mount Rushmore of like, for me, like I have a Mount Rushmore of rappers. Who would be like your Mount? I'm just based on, I guess, business entrepreneurs. Your entrepreneurial Mount Rushmore: Steve Jobs, Rockefeller.
I do. I respect. I read after reading his biographies and stuff. Like, it was pretty amazing, like how he did that
Yeah,
back in the day and like controlled everything and really navigated that business. So he's a good one. And then Elon for sure, man. Like, there's nobody that's probably ever gonna come close to doing as much like world changing stuff as him.
yeah,
And for
hell
some
yeah.
reason, he can start anything and he executes and he can actually make it happen. Like, be successful. That's really hard.
Right.
I don't know about all the ideas that fail, but all the ones you see is like 10 for 10. It's like, and it's like huge stuff.
And he sold PayPal. I didn't realize like
Yeah, that's where he started. He sold a smaller company before that. It was some type of like yellow page type company or something for like 10 million. And then that's when he jumped into PayPal. Then he sold that. And then that's where he got a bunch of his money to start Tesla and SpaceX. What's cool about that story too is he's like, I use all my money
yeah,
from PayPal, all of it.
yep,
And he goes, I was down to my last like 20 million in the bank,
yep,
but that was only like 2 weeks of payroll everywhere.
yep,
And then I think that he goes, well, I'm either going to go bankrupt or
yeah.
like I'll have to figure something out.
Gotta
And then
love
he ended
that.
up getting a contract or something, and like, and the stock price jumped. I don't even know how he came out of it, but I remember the story, like him telling it. And it's like, damn, he risked
bet it
every
all.
penny that he ever made on like trying to make these new companies work. No reason, like just like he really believed in it that much. And so that's why you got to look up to those people, because if you've been through it, you're like, man, to do that and have that much stress and like not knowing if you just burned all your money and you're gonna have to start all over again when you're 40, 45 years old.
Yeah, I mean it's literally the 50 Cent shit. Get rich or die trying. Like,
Yeah. I like him too a lot.
yeah,
I respect him a
definitely,
lot.
definitely.
He's written a lot. I've read a lot of his books that he's
Yeah,
written and like
yep.
co-authored with Robert Greene. And then just from him, like making a bunch of money in rap, he was the first guy to do a brand deal and like take equity.
Vitamin water.
Right? He was one of the ones that like, hey, don't pay me, just give me equity.
Yeah,
Made 50 million, and that back then that was unheard of. Now it's like, shit, that's kind of small, right? If you're a big,
right.
but I respect him too. And then the stuff he's created now, like
Yeah,
I think
for
he
sure.
was close to bankruptcy at one time, like where
I think he did.
he had a
file for
bunch of
bankruptcy.
lawsuits. He was just trying to get out of the lawsuits too. He had that bought Mike Tyson's house. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
probably spending a shit ton of money. But then, dude, he's able to come back and make one of the biggest like movie studios. And now he built this huge movie studio in Shreveport. We have a yard in like in our oil and gas stuff. We operate out of Shreveport
where's that?
in Louisiana.
Oh yeah,
50 Cent just opened like the biggest studio and moved it to Shreveport. Like middle of no, like there's nothing there. It's oil and there's like a little bit of casinos on the other side of the river. That's it. There's nothing else there. No industry. And he brought all these people there and now he's like creating all these jobs. I almost bought real estate out there right before he was doing it.
Yeah,
I should have, man. There was
Yeah.
the buildings were so cheap. And then the more he puts into that community, it's just going to keep going up.
yeah, hell yeah.
So anyways, yeah, as far as like rap, I for sure look up to him just for number one, I used to listen to all that stuff when it came out, but just like the books and the
Yup.
like his mindset, like
Yeah.
he would never go, like he wouldn't party. He was like
Yeah,
everybody
he
else
didn't
is
drink.
partying.
Right?
Or
He didn't drink or smoke
for a
really.
while, he said like, oh, I'd take a shot like every like couple months or something, something like that. But yeah, he's like, I would go out and party with everybody. He goes, I just wouldn't. I could wake up the next morning and start working.
And working out too.
Yep. And that's probably what kept him from going over the deep end. It's like when you're like, oh, I gotta wake up and work out. I don't want to stay out till 5.
It'll be crazy. Like it's kind of random, but like imagine you. Probably wouldn't be legal, but like imagine you interviewed like an AI version of somebody from who like a Rockefeller, like
That might be
AI,
end up happening one day, right?
right? Like
That'd be cool.
that'd be fire. Like if you asking a AI Rockefeller, like
And
with
he's
his
responding
voice
to
and
like
everything,
he's
replying.
responding to stuff that
He went
came
through.
from his story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be crazy. I mean,
I don't think that's actually out of the question. Like
that
it's
shit would
happening. I
be.
mean, that stuff's it's coming fast.
I've never heard of that. That'd be an ill idea. A podcast that like interviewed AI historical figures, like fucking
Anybody.
what's his dude's name? The Asian dude who like half of the population is like the Mongolian guy, Genghis Khan.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
imagine that. Like, that would be crazy. That's some trippy shit right there. Damn,
That's where it's headed though. The online things,
bro.
like the way technology is going,
Would you get that brain chip that Elon's?
man, I'm all about stuff that like makes you perform 10 times better and
Feel
like
you.
think 10 times better. And so I can't say I wouldn't. So I know people are like, well,
I
you
feel
don't
you.
you don't want somebody to control you. I
Yeah.
kind of think that, but it's like, okay, what if it gets to a point where you get that
Yeah.
and it's almost like the limitless thing and you take that pill and then you just like crush
Nah,
everything.
I feel you. My thing
And
is
you're that
too-
much smarter but it's still your same personality, but like it just
Yeah.
like I don't know. There's definitely two sides of it, but what he's doing with it anyways is like making people that can't walk like be able to
Right. Which is
I mean,
amazing.
which is really cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like
So I believe in the technology.
absolutely.
Yeah, one day it's probably going to be used for bad stuff, like that specific technology, like because who knows?
Yeah.
And you don't want somebody to be able to like shut off your brain
Exactly.
or something. I don't know.
Even like Tesla, like if you're an influential person driving a Tesla, somebody messes with the satellite and makes you crash and go off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that.
that from that movie that the Obamas made with the world ending and all the Teslas end up. I'm like, damn. So I can't have a Tesla because
They can shut
if
it off.
somebody wants to, if I'm trying to do something and the government's like, nah, we're not playing with that shit. Blow, Tesla off the road. I was drunk. Cover it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Like
hit somebody.
exactly, and that's what the mind shit. Like
Yeah.
as much as I would want it, you're kind of like somebody could control that shit and just turn you evil. Even like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's my-
true.
that's
no, you know
my-
what? That's true.
That's my biggest like.
I didn't think about that.
risk
I only
with
thought
that.
about the positives. I was
No,
like,
no, absolutely. I mean, shit. If God forbid my leg got amputated, I would get a robotic leg. Hell yeah, definitely. I would love to do all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind being half robot for sure. It's funny, in college we had this class, Facebook. It was called Facebook and Jesus. But
Really?
but it was all about like technological advancement from like a theological point of view. Like, what would Jesus do, or like.
on Facebook.
I don't know. I think it was just clickbait to call it that. But it was just talking about getting robotic legs or like. I'm all for that stuff, man. And unfortunately, it's gonna be our demise because it's just how evolution works. Like humans, we're gonna keep getting more robotic and be less, and it's inevitable, honestly. Unless I'm being cynical, like, but it's just
No.
like AI is gonna.
Where you have something that like the internet, right? It
Yeah.
like connects people all over the world,
Yeah,
and like 85-90% of it is good.
Yeah.
But then you have 10% that's like you're always gonna have these really bad people like trying to exploit people or
yeah,
take advantage of people or doing something with kids. Like I mean, it's
Yeah.
bad. And so the same thing is gonna happen with technology. Like probably 90% is gonna be good, but then you're
Yeah.
gonna have 10% that is evil doing bad stuff with it. So
My thing is like I gotta watch out robot, but it's like, do the AI eventually gain consciousness? Is that what happens? Is that like the premise of the shit? I feel like Hollywood does a
remember.
good job of like showing shit that's actually gonna happen. You know, like, is that what it is? Like it's gonna, because that's what separates us, right? Is we have consciousness.
I don't remember that movie. I don't remember if they. I think it is. They gain their own.
Free will and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
would you have like robotic nanny? Nah. Or like robot servers or.
I think Elon just came out with that. Yeah, I think like where I think that stuff is good
Yeah.
is if it can't do something bad, then and if it's just like a service-based robot, shit, it's all for it. Like
Yeah.
then you could buy it and it can help pretty much any family in the world that like doesn't want to stay home and clean their house. Like if you had somebody to like do all that stuff that you don't want to do,
Yeah,
and it just does it forever and it never breaks down. I mean, that's a pretty good.
that shit is crazy.
I guarantee you, fast food people, it's gonna be
Oh yeah, out
in
of service
fast
for
food.
sure, definitely. Which it should be, honestly. Like,
It's also gonna bring down prices though, because then you don't have to deal with people not showing up, training people. It'll bring prices down for the consumer, which is actually a good thing too.
definitely, definitely. Andrew Yang was basically like, yo, like, I don't want to sound racist, but he was like, yo, Mexicans aren't taking jobs, it's robots. Like, y'all are worried about the wrong shit. It's not immigrants, it's robots. Robots are taking our jobs. Like, you know, and I was like, damn, that's so true. Like, it really is robots, you know? And stuff like Uber and like,
Well, that's gonna go away too, right? So even the guy I used to follow, the Travis guy that started Uber,
yeah,
and like read all the books and read everything, and so he right after he started and he saw how hard it was to like manage all those drivers.
yeah.
He was trying to do autonomous vehicles like back then, like that was his idea. He was
Oh,
like, we have to get rid of the drivers, like that's the only way this is going to be like a really long-term play.
I was in one of those in Arizona.
Oh yeah, I haven't been, but I've seen videos.
Nah, that
Is
shit's
it crazy? It just, you just get in it and it just like,
I feel safer with that than people driving, honestly.
yeah, I've been in some crazy Ubers where you're like,
Yeah,
you get kind of
right.
nervous.
Right. But then it goes back to the like, what if somebody wants to take me down and so nah, we gonna see. Damn, I'm hyped to talk to that dude you were talking about with the branding and stuff.
I'll hook you up with them. We'll get it going. So man, congratulations on the album. Excited for the song tonight.
Yes, sir. Meet our man. It's
It's just
MRG, not Mr. G.
It's just a matter of time before you're one of the biggest in the world. So
Likewise, man, this
yeah.
platform, and I really appreciate. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, that's another thing too. Like, even this relationship, like, just people helping out, and want to see me win, and it's just like, it's a beautiful thing. You have an abundance mindset, and I'm glad you rock with my music, and even coming out to Houston's been dope.
Yeah.
So
I also want to bring everybody with me. I want like-minded people around me, and
Right.
so man, it's just fun for me. Like
Yeah,
that's all
hell yeah.
that's all I'm about. So
it's not about the destination or the journey; it's about the company.
yes,
You feel me?
Yep.
And also too, you could have bought me on your show, and I could have just been kind of a dickhead and not a cool person. You
That's
would have been
what I'm
like, you
saying,
would have been
yeah.
like, all right, so I'm not gonna. Don't come to Houston then,
Yep.
motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's all love, and that's something I tell Jay too. I'm like, it sucks that as we get older, it kind of sucks that it's like, damn, like I don't want to hang around certain people, even if they're mad cool and they're very ethical. But if they ain't got shit going on, it's like, and it sucks that I don't know that, sometimes I might go to my park and I see. And there's nothing wrong as long as people are happy. That's whatever makes somebody happy. I cannot judge that. If chilling at the park all day, I'm not chilling at the park all day. But if smoking, drinking, and playing video games makes you happy, that's amazing. But I don't want to be around you as much because you become who you hang around.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was telling Jay, like, I actually fuck with Sean. Like, I like learning from you, and I'm not just here on some like, nah, he's successful, but I'm trying to like, it's dope to be able to actually fuck with somebody, not just because of what they have and what they offer, because they're like, I feel like that's when it doesn't become genuine, and it's like, I'm just here to get fucking a dope experience, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really cool to be able to connect with people that are, that
like-minded. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's the same thing. I try not to hang around people that are gonna like slow me down or don't have the same goal that I have, because it gets in the way, and then you just don't want any of the negative stuff. And it's like, again, if that makes them happy, let them go do it. But
yeah,
it ain't gonna help me get to where I'm going.
definitely not. Yeah,
Well,
man.
Ari, man, thanks for coming on.
Sir, my dog.
This wasn't even really a show, but it was just more of a
Yeah, sound
chop it
bites.
up.
Sound bites, definitely,
chop it
definitely.
up.